Let's talk about your career. Are you really in the driver's seat? Or are you kind of just along for the ride? Today, we're going to explore that critical shift. That moment when you go from being a passive passenger to grabbing the wheel of your own professional journey. Seriously, take a second and think about it. Your projects, your team, your goals, all of it. Are you the one setting the course, making the turns, or do you feel more like you're in the passenger seat, watching the scenery go by, just reacting to whatever road you end up on? So it really boils down to two completely different ways of thinking. On one side, you've got the passenger mentality. This is all about being reactive. Your calendar runs your day, things just happen to you. But the driver mindset, that's proactive. It's about taking full responsibility. It's the difference between asking, why did this happen to me? And, okay, what am I going to do about it? And this gets us right to the heart of the matter, the passenger problem. See, being a passenger isn't just passive. It's a major roadblock to your impact. Think about it. An entire company full of passengers isn't going anywhere new. It's just drifting. And for you, personally, it creates this constant low-level buzz of anxiety that comes from feeling like you're not really in control. But here's the good news. Taking the wheel is a process anyone can learn. It all starts with just being aware, realizing, hey, I'm a passenger right now. Then comes the conscious choice to reach for that wheel. Stage 3, getting that initial control, well, it can feel a little clumsy at first. You might oversteer a bit, but you gotta stick with it, because that leads to the final stage, masterful navigation. That's when leading starts to feel natural, smooth, almost like second nature. So how do you actually start steering this thing? Well, it all begins with mastering two absolute, non-negotiable foundations of control: building trust and wielding influence. We really need to rethink what trust is. It's not some fuzzy, soft skill. No way. It's the actual currency of leadership. Every single promise you keep, that's a deposit into your trust account. Without that fuel in the tank, your leadership vehicle is completely stalled. I don't care how amazing your vision is. And trust isn't just one thing. It's a whole structure built on 5 key pillars. You've got to have competence, so people actually believe you know what you're doing. You need character, connection, and consistency, so they know they can count on you time and time again. And finally, you have to have open communication. If any one of these pillars gets shaky, believe me, the whole structure can come tumbling down. Okay, so if trust is the fuel, then influence is your steering wheel. And this is so important. Real leadership has nothing to do with just barking orders. It's about getting people to want to move in a certain direction with you. What you're aiming for is genuine, enthusiastic commitment, not just reluctant compliance. Influence isn't some kind of magic. It's practically a formula. It's a mix of your credibility, how well you can create alignment around an idea, and the reciprocity you've built up over time. And all of that gets divided by social friction, the resistance from the group. So if you want more influence, you either boost those top factors or you find ways to lower the friction. It's a system you can actually work on. All right, with those foundations of trust and influence locked in, we can start building the operating system for our leadership. These are the systems you run every day to guide the drive, your vision, and the way you make decisions. A leader's number one job is to program the team's GPS. And a fuzzy destination like, let's be the best, that's totally useless. A powerful vision gives a crystal clear destination, and just as important, it gives the entire team the turn-by-turn directions they need to get there together. A great vision has to feel real. It has to cascade down. It starts as this abstract vapor at the highest level, then it condenses into the mist of real objectives. That mist becomes the flowing water of team projects, and eventually the powerful flow of daily actions. That's how you connect what someone is doing in a Monday morning meeting all the way back to the 10-year plan. A masterful driver knows that not every turn is the same, and not every decision should be treated the same way. There are really 2 types. Type 1 decisions are like one-way doors. They're high stakes, super hard to reverse. You need to be slow and careful with those. But Type 2 decisions, those are two-way doors. They're reversible. You should make these fast because they're all about learning. And this right here is where so many leaders and teams get completely stuck. They treat a reversible Type 2 decision with the same slow, agonizing process as a huge, irreversible Type 1 decision. And that mistake, it just creates analysis paralysis and totally kills momentum, when all you really needed to do was run a quick test and learn from it. So we figured out how to drive effectively. We're in control. But where are we actually going? This last part is all about elevating the journey from just getting stuff done to arriving at a real destination of purpose and lasting impact. Legacy isn't just about being remembered. It's much bigger than that. It has three dimensions. There's the institutional legacy, the systems and the culture you build that keep working long after you're gone. There's the human capital legacy, the people you mentor and develop who go on to blow past your own achievements. And finally, the contribution legacy, the impact you have on your whole field or your community. This is such a powerful idea. Legacy isn't some trophy you collect at the end of the game. It's a mindset. It's something you practice every single day. It's all about making choices that will benefit people who come long after you, a totally selfless act of building for a future you might not even see. And that leaves us with the ultimate driver's question. It shifts the focus from your hands on the wheel to the people riding with you. Because the truest measure of your leadership isn't just where you drive the car, it's how many other people you teach to drive, and who among them will go on to navigate roads you never even dreamed of. That is the final destination.